not that far away. It takes about
Okay.
an hour to get.
How are you doing?
Hi.
Oh, it's a bit.
When I was quite a lot younger, obviously.
Oh, that's no good.
I'm waiting for everybody to go quiet.
Okay.
Everybody's gone quiet. And welcome, 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 welcome to everybody, and particularly Janet over in Canada, northern Canada, where it's cold, cold, cold. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, shall we get started? Yes? Okay, let's go and get started. Here we go. His hand will guide my throne and rod, and I'll never walk alone. No, I'll never walk alone. While I walk with God. And here we are, another, so we're all alive still. Give yourselves a round of applause for being alive. I mean, that is terrific. Just being alive is terrific. It's wonderful. And now, before we start, shall we do the magic mute? Yes, who should I pick on this month? We haven't spoken to Maureen for months and months and months. Maureen, would you like to do the magic mute? All you have to do is 1, 2, 3, mute, and then everybody is muted. Off you go.
1, 2, 3, mute.
And then there was silence. Isn't that wonderful? Total silence. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I love it when there's silence. But here we are, and Janet's going to be co-host, which is lovely. You're terrible, Janet. You never let us see you. Do you know why that is, ladies and gentlemen? Because she hasn't got her makeup on. She hasn't had her hair done. She hasn't got her best clothes on. But she's a lovely girl, a great friend, and helps me an awful lot in my Toastmasters business. Don't you, Janet?
Well, I help wherever I'm needed, so thanks. And
Well, one day, Janet, you're going to have your makeup on, and you're going to have your hair done, and you're going to have all your best clothes on, and then you'll open your camera, will you?
And I will, and I'll surprise you. It's early in the morning here, everyone.
Oh, of course it is. Of course it is. I forgot that. Well, that's lovely. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Janet. Okay, so what have we got this week? What we usually do is I show you what I've been up to last month. And this month I have had quite a wonderful time because the weather has been so good. And do you know what I did, ladies and gentlemen? I did the trick that they said on television. Find out where the sun is shining in your windows and put tin foil up. And I put tin foil up on my windows, and believe me, it worked because we were sweltering. We were up to 43 degrees in Eastbourne, 43 degrees. And then we're going to have the sound of silence because I consider that to be one of the best things we've ever recorded and high in the charts, as you know. Then the old video diaries, which are always very, very popular. And this year is going to be the end of 2017, and there's a lot of con in it. And then a tech tip. This is going to be really good. It's the thing we do in Toastmasters, and I've been doing it for a few months here, and it's lovely. It's lovely. A tech tip. And this week, by popular demand, I think I've mentioned it before, but how to have a great photograph taken. Particularly if you have to have a good photograph for your work or for your grandchildren or whatever. And then I've got Audrey Hepburn, which I'll tell you about when we get to it. We have the birthdays then, and then we have a request for 4 strong winds, one of my favorites. And the goodbye is going to be, again, I'll tell you about it at the time. It's going to be Song for Con. And that tells you everything, doesn't it? Song written from the heart about a very private matter, actually, which I suppose eventually will come out into the open. but there we are. For the moment, it's private. So how was my month? And now I can tell you this, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, is all about what I got up to last month. Have a look at this.
Well, here we are, barbecue season, and Victoria's put a lovely bench in so we can sit on it in front of our house. Ah, do I look comfortable? Do I ever? I love this place for barbecues.
Now isn't that lovely? All the colours of the rainbow. The barbecue in full flow. Isn't that lovely? Like a fire pit sort of a deal. And the table. And the lovely archway I put in, possibly 2 years ago now. Bought it from a friend of mine. Got honeysuckle and clematis on each side. Lovely lavender there. And that, I brought that over from Corfu, would you believe? I was in Corfu. I just brought a clump of it and put it in, and it's everywhere now. It's at the front, it's everywhere. And that's a nice unanimous. That is love there. Osteospermum. Not very happy at the moment, but I haven't been here for a couple of weeks. That is called a top hat. I took that from my garden in Stanton Prior. Just brought a couple of clumps over, and there it is. And it's over there as well. Look, it's everywhere at the back. It's very, very tall. It's called top hat. And that is euphorbia, yeah. And that comes out in September, and it makes lovely auburn colours. And they are Rudbeckia, which will be coming out any day now. Rudbeckia, and then you got the euphorbia, and you got the top hat at the back. And of course, they're bedding plants, as we all know. Lots more osteospermum, which I love. That's an angel plant. Lovely, lovely, lovely smell. I bought that, and that is a hydrangea. And unfortunately, Victoria can't afford really to water everything. I just planted that today. And that will be lovely in a couple of days. Planted that today as well. That will be lovely. And that is, I forget the name of that, but I'm told it's worth a lot of money now. At that size. What's it called?
Angel wings.
It's called angel wings, and that's lovely. They're lilies which I brought over from my garden in Stanton Prior. They grow huge, and you can't stop them growing. Once they get going, you can't stop them. They're doing very well. There's a couple of them, and they look nice. Gardener, friend of Victoria's, is very impressed with this one. I forget now what it is, but it's a little bush. More unanimous. I'm just deadheading these roses today. And that's fennel, which I love cooking with. Fennel is gorgeous. Had a lovely flower on top. That'll be out any day now. And of course, the backdrop then is the one which butterflies, Buddleia. Butterflies love that. Isn't it lovely? Lovely setting for a barbecue. I can't believe it. It's and she got those deck chairs very cheap the other day. It's absolutely gorgeous here. And we'll be eating soon.
Thank you.
Now, this is what I call fine dining barbecue style. And that pork, just go in close. That is the best cooked pork I've ever had. But you always hear me say that. Everything is the best. I always say that, Yulia. Everything is the best. I always say everything is the best. This is the best restaurant. This is the best barbecue. And isn't it lovely that somebody else has done it for us?
And there's more cooking on there. Can I just pour my own? Oh, sorry, Mummy.
Isn't this delightful?
Yeah, we're just gonna.
And that is a salad. Let's eat, yeah? going to eat it now. Yeah. Mmm. Mmm. Now, is that amazing, or is that amazing? Oh, isn't that lovely? Glowing embers, glowing embers.
That's what we want.
There we are.
That's what we want.
Isn't that amazing? I mean, what a garden. Look at all those lights. It doesn't look real. It doesn't. It actually doesn't look real. And that's where I hang out. All the technical gear. Quite a nice stage actually. It's lovely. It's just right for an acoustic stage. Take care of all. I like a little bit of lighting so that people can see. We've got a nice bit of lighting. And they're amazing. These absolutely brand new, tiny, tiny lights. They're so bright. Amazing.
I didn't care, but I lost everything, darling, then and there.
That's the acoustic stage which I'm managing, and look at the main festival. Woo! Isn't Oliver doing well? Oh, the boy is making a fortune. Picnic and pop. Oh. This is the most amazing thing I've ever seen. We've got a real live mermaid at the acoustic stage, and the kids love it. A real live mermaid. Well, that is amazing for the kids, and she's so good with the kids. So good. We've got a friend over there. Take care of her as well. Oh, look at this. Having a lovely time. This is amazing. And there's the beer tent going well. That's what Oliver's interested in, the beer tent. And the beer tent is doing great. Oliver just loves this. Ah, money, money, money. The weather was perfect, the sun was perfect, it was lovely. What did you think of that, Chris? Would you like that up in Elland?
Yes, that would be very, very good, I must admit. Yes. Indeed, I thought it was great, and congratulations. Is it Oliver, your son?
Yes, Oliver, and it's a unique idea. He's very good. He's exactly like me. He's a clone of me. He looks around for ideas and then grabs it. And the picnic and pop idea, which is his business now,
Yeah.
he's trademarked it. He's done everything, and it's his own business. But he's realised that okay, we can go to festivals and all that, but you get the bad language and you get all that stuff and the drunk people and all that. But if you have it in a controlled environment and call it a family festival, you could see from the filming, everybody was spread out. They all had their picnic deals going on. There were no fires, by the way. I don't think they did out fires, but the food was fantastic. There's Thai food. There's all sorts of food going on. But really, a place like Ellen could do with that. And already, Oliver's now he's doing it in another town in Surrey, Byrne, I think it's called, a village. And that's got great, what they call demographic. So there's a lot of family people around, and that's ideal. But he's struck on a fantastic idea, and it really, Chris, it really works with a venue. Yeah.
I must say, it looked good. And of course, weather was great, and that's very important with these events.
Yeah. So listen, could you have a word with Rotary and talk them into that?
Well,
that'd be a good idea, wouldn't it?
Could be.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Chris. Well, this next bit is possibly my favourite song. There's a story to it, really. I mean, we all know the story of Simon and Garfunkel never had a hit with Sound of Silence in this country, which really miffed them completely. They were very, very annoyed. It was a big, popular song because of the film. Was it Mrs. Robinson? But they never had a hit with the song. So Dick Rowe, who was our recording engineer, we wanted to do an album called Hits of the 60s, which we all remember. So maybe we had #1 album with that. And one of the songs on it was Sound of Silence, because it was a hit in America, in the States. So we took it and did our own deal on it. We did it on stage, and it was a disaster. And I couldn't figure out why was it a disaster. And the reason was it had the smallest finish in the world. And to have an applause getter, what they call an applause getter, you've got to have a big finish, what I call This Way to the Exits finish. A big, massive, bah, 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 like we always do. I Believe and Trade You for the World and all those songs. But this one had that little tiny guitar, ding, 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 ding. And then you get that gap in the audience. And then the polite applause. It drove me mad. So we stopped doing it. We'd only do Sound of Silence a very odd time acoustically, or a very odd time in a medley. And then a couple of years ago, I said to Con, I'll do a new arrangement of this, and I'll give it the biggest finish in the world. And I did. And do you know something, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Every night we did it, and you will attest to this, anybody who saw us do it live, every night we did it, we got a standing ovation in the middle of the show. Now that is unbelievable to do that. So, to just show you what I got up to, and what Colin and I did when we eventually did a video of it, not too long ago, just look at this.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone. Neath the halo of a street lamp, I turned my collar to the cold, and then, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light, the split of the night, and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never shared. No one dared disturb the sound of silence. Who could I? You do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Here are words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. But my words, like silent raindrops, fell and echoed in the wells of silence. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made. And the sign flashed out its warning in the words that it was forming. And the sign said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls, terrorist moments, and whispered the sounds of silence.
So, let's get back. There we are. Did you know I've got to get onto the full screen? Wait till I get onto the gallery screen and see the applause! The applause! The applause! The applause! I can't see Janet applauding. Oh, she's got a hand up. That's good. That's good. I see everybody applauding. Stephen isn't applauding. What's wrong with you, Stephen? Oh, you always give me a little one of them. That's marvellous. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That is terrific. Let's get back to talking now. You may have noticed in that song, and I can never remember the words, but there's a little phrase in it. You can tell, and then there's they miss out a line. Now I never figured out with Simon and Garfunkel whether they did that on purpose or they just couldn't work out a lyric. But you saw on that video, if you watch it again in the replay, you'll notice that when we come to that bit about you can tell, Con laughs. And the reason we laugh is that every time we sang it on stage, under our breaths, we get you can tell. And we go, where there was a missing lyric, we go, you can tell, bloody hell. I shouldn't say that word on this during the day, but that is why we laughed every time. It was great fun. Now I have a question, and I'm looking at Catherine here. Catherine, we're all hearing about the economic downturn and everything. I mean, my feeling is that, yes, it's a lot to do with Ukraine, of course it is, but we've just had the most massive recession with COVID, and the whole country locked down for 2 years, no money coming in. So no wonder we've got economic problems. That's my personal feeling. But Catherine, in your opinion, the best advice that you could give anybody to have a holiday in these economic times? Go for it, Catherine. What do you think, in your own words?
Well, as I say, sometimes making your own amusement is the best way. You get more satisfaction.
Yes.
Go for it, as they say, you know, people have found out going local, pretend you're a tourist, because often you never see the landmarks and everything around where you live. It's like, well, I'm from Wallsend, which was Roman Segedunum, and there's a big museum, and it contains a working Roman baths, which I'd never been to see. And my son and I went down to Bath when he was working down there. And of course, we went to see the Roman baths. And I said, well, you know, here we are in Bath looking at the Roman baths, and we've never seen the Roman baths in our own hometown. Of course, we rectified that. But you can have to, I mean, you know, it's what you do. You make your own enjoyment and entertainment.
Do you know, that's very, very, very wise, Catherine. That's lovely. And Maureen, have you seen on the newspapers and on the television and on the radio that some of these companies, I won't name the companies, but they specialize in Airbnb, that sort of thing. We all know what that is, where people let people come to their houses for a holiday. They probably go away, or maybe they've got a second residence. And some people have been caught out very badly. They come all the way from Japan, jet lagged and everything, arrived at the house, knock on the door, and the person says, I know nothing about this. And that's happened a few times. Maureen, what's your impression of Airbnb and all this kind of thing that's going on?
I don't know. I just think everybody's just grabbing for what they can get at the moment.
In what respect? In what respect?
You know, they're just wanting money. People are wanting money, so they'll go to, you know, they'll probably say, oh, we've got nothing of it. We don't know anything of it. Somebody must be making, and somebody must have done that.
Yeah.
I say stay in England.
Yeah. Maureen, can I ask you, have you ever done Airbnb?
No.
No. Has anybody here done Airbnb? Put your hand up, anybody? No? I've never done it, but my son does it all the time, very successfully. And my granddaughter at the moment is in the south of France with her daddy from Dubai. I mean, she has a fantastic time. My granddaughter, she's international. She's all over the world. That's Layla, and she's just suffering. She's doing a Channel 4 series at the moment, and she's just up for another major one. Well, that's terrific. But they have great time in these Airbnb, and I tell you something, I'm going to have a go at Airbnb, but knowing my luck, Maureen, knowing my luck, I'll probably arrive at the door in wherever, Ecuador or something like that, and I'll walk up and then say, who are you?
We don't know you.
But there we are. I'm always looking around for stuff that you haven't heard of, Con. And I found that one, that I Did Not Die, which I played in the Goodbye to Con, and it was a lovely idea. And I hoped, and I wished that the family would play that at his funeral, but hey, they didn't. But he did another one, and I'll tell you the quick story of this. We had an idea. Or at least I had the ideas. I think I had all the ideas, but I had this idea, and I put it to Con. I said, Con, everybody plays all these things at funerals. You know, I Did Not Die, and I'm in the room next door. We all know those things, and Ave Maria, and all those. I said, why don't we do a CD of all those, and we can put I Believe on them, all the religious songs, Walk with Faith in Your Heart, and particularly the lovely I Did Not Die. Put everything in a beautiful cask and sell it at funeral parlours. Great idea, and I nearly got it done. But we did the idea always in business is, and Chris will know this, and business people will tell you this, is never do the whole product hoping you'll sell it. You sell it first and you give them an idea or a demo. Jeffrey Archer told me that all those years ago with his books, and he actually showed me his notes. He said, I'm supposed to have this finished in 3 weeks' time, and I've only written 6 chapters. And he showed me the bullet points of what he was going to write. But it's very important. So with these songs, these religious type songs, I picked them out. I Did Not Die, and we found this lovely thing about Audrey Hepburn. But it nearly flew. And it didn't at the last minute, it wasn't. But I've still got these tracks. And what I want to do now is play you this track. And this, to me, is absolutely gorgeous. This is Con at his very best.
Most people today think they can buy beauty with makeup, clothes, jewellery and gimmicks. One of the most beautiful ladies in the world was Audrey Hepburn. Do you remember how beautiful she looked in that wonderful film, Breakfast at Tiffany's?
Dear Con, dear Con. Oh, really, mate, give Con a round of applause. Go on, give Con a round of applause. He needs it. Are you up there, Con? He is. He's listened and he appreciates that. Thank you very much. But now you know the story of all that is very, 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 very interesting. But have we got any birthdays, Lynn? That's what I want to know. Have we got any birthdays, Lynn?
We've got 5 this month.
5!
But only one of those 5 people are here. In this
Oh,
meeting.
okay.
The others will be watching the playback. But
Okay.
they would like to be mentioned.
Yeah, I don't know whether you know this, Lynn, but you do realise, we've got 9 people here today, but the playbacks getting 3,600, 6,000 people. It's quite amazing. But go on now. Tell me the names, please, Lynn. Go on.
Right, with Linda Wood from the 1st of August.
Yeah.
David Lewis, his birthday today.
Who's that?
David Lewis.
David, yeah.
Yeah. Joy Henderson,
Yeah.
birthday on the 15th.
Yeah.
Bo Haddon will be celebrating her 70th on the 23rd.
Bo, that's B-E-A-U.
Oh, quick.
Bo Haddon.
I'm going to drop it back.
Bo Haddon.
Yeah.
B-E-A-U, yeah.
Yeah, she'll be 70 this month.
Oh.
And Linda Hawkes will be celebrating her birthday on the 30th.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's lovely. So are we all going to sing happy birthday? Happy birthday to you, Linda, David, Joy, Bo and Linda Hawkes. Happy birthday to you, Linda, David, Joy, Bo on her 70th birthday and Linda Hawkes. Happy birthday to Linda, David, Joy, Bo on her 70th and Linda Hawkes. Happy birthday to you and many more. And who is it that's here? It's Linda, isn't it? Is Linda here? Oh, there we are. Yep, and it's your turn. Now, you know the deal, don't you? Have you done this before?
No, I've never done it before, no.
Okay, so what you do is you say 1, 2, 3, and you blow. Okay? And with a bit of luck, the magic is going to come all the way down the wires of the internet and in here, and it's going to blow these candles out. So here we go. 1, 2, 3 from you.
1, 2, 3, blow.
Ha! We got there in the end. Look at that. They're all blown out. That's terrific.
Thank you.
Oh, Linda, and happy birthday from us all.
Thank you very much.
That was lovely, Linda. And the other Linda and David and Joy and Bo on her 70th and Linda Hawkes. That's terrific. So, what should we get up to now? I'll tell you what. Tech tip. I promise you a tech tip now. Very interesting. It's very, very popular in Toastmasters clubs, as Janet will tell you, from all over the world. And Janet, this tech tip, I sort of mentioned it a few weeks ago, and people got in touch with me and said, oh, Dec, you've got to talk a little bit more about that. And it's about having a good photograph taken, because so many people, like Janet, will keep her... I'm not having to go at each other. Keeps her camera off because she doesn't like the, probably doesn't like the way she looks, but that's another kettle of fish. But on camera, and she hasn't got her hair done, and she hasn't got her makeup done, ladies and gentlemen, and hasn't got her best clothes on. But there we are. Now I'll tell you now how to have the best photograph taken. And this, okay, people say, oh, I don't need a photograph taken at the moment, but you do. You do, for a passport photograph. We all hate our passport photographs. Why not? You can use the best photograph in the world, so long as it's the right size. I've got a terrific one. No, come to think of it, it's a terrible one. But the grandchildren always like a good photograph of grandma or granddad, don't they? And your husband or your wife or your girlfriend or your partner always loves a good photograph. So it's a few basic things. That's all it is a few basic things that people totally forget about. Make sure you've got a good background, not a busy back. I wouldn't use a background like this because this is a lounge, my lounge. But I wouldn't use a background like that. A plain, nice, plain background with nothing in it, because what you see, generally speaking, is you get something like this, and that'll be in the background. It'll be like that. So that's what you photograph. So, and they call that something sticking out of your head because it's in the background. So you want to make sure it's absolutely plain. Yeah, that's number one thing. Number two, know your good side. Know your good side, and that's easy. They teach you this, and Janet will tell you, they teach this in the schools in the States, and wisely so. It's very, very important to know your good side. I know my good side is that side, is that, yeah? Because I'll go to the other side. No, that's, sorry, that's, it's reverse in the screen I'm looking at. It's reverse. That's my good side, because that there is flatter. If I go to that side, it's flatter. Anyway, I know that's my good side, and I use that all the time. Tilt your body. Most people, when they're having a photograph taken, they stand like that with their feet 3 feet apart, or they stand to attention, and it just looks dreadful. If all you have to do is just tilt yourself that little bit, and it just gives that lovely angle and gives that interest, especially if you're standing. Put one foot in front of the other. Always look at the big people. Look at the Tom Cruises. Look at the Kanye West. Look at all those people. Rihanna, Gaga. Watch the way they have their photographs taken. They've always got one foot in front of the other. Even if you're a man, same deal. You have to smile. De rigueur, you have to smile. Everybody loves a smiling face. Now, I have seen so many people smiling, and they just go like that, and they go, yeah, and it just looks awful. And the cameraman is trying his best, and he says, oh, cheese, everybody, smile. All these different things that they say. Smile, smile, smile. And everybody goes, and it's just dreadful. No, the trick is, and you saw that photograph of Con and I as the harmonic chords all those years ago, and we were very, very, very lucky that we had incredible mentors. They were so wise, Fred O'Donovan and people like that, and Eamon Andrews from the old days. They were so wise, and they taught us that because we were playing mouth organs, so our mouth was closed, so we had to have interest in the rest of our face. So they taught us to smile with our eyes. Now, all you have to do is do that and smile with your eyes. I'll show you the difference. That's not smiling with my eyes, and that's smiling with my eyes. Now, okay, when I do that, I'm of an age, and especially if the sun is shining, my eyes close a lot, and I've got to really force them open. But that's the idea, is just to smile with your eyes. You've got that little crinkly bit on the side, and that says everything. Now, look at this. Now, I can be not smile. My mouth's not smiling, but my eyes are smiling. Now, to see this in action, look very carefully at somebody like Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible, he's probably the best at it, because he can be in the most vicious situation and he's still there and he's smiling with his eyes. He's got that little glint in his eye. George W. Bush, the American president, was wonderful at that. He had that little glint in his eye, and he'd be telling people 57,000 Americans were killed yesterday in an earthquake in Canada. But he had that little glint in his eye when he said it. So important. Whatever you do, just to finish this little tip, whatever you do in any photograph, smile. 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 Be happy and smile. I can't stop myself smiling. I smile all day long. But that was the birthdays. What did you think of that, Linda? Would you adopt any of those?
Well, I enjoy photography. I always have enjoyed photography. I've taken my camera, to many different, parts of the world. I don't tend to photograph people so often, because I don't have all that many, people to photograph anymore. They're all away. So as far as that's concerned, yes. As far as laughter in your eyes is concerned, it is very important, because people can see that you're really not smiling if your eyes aren't laughing as well. So I completely agree with that, and I think that's a great tip. Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. Thanks very much. This next one it's a lovely song, and it's a request, and I can't remember who requested it, but somebody heard us doing it and said, "Oh, that's my favorite song, and it's lovely, and you should do that more often." And this Con did up in his garden. He's got a lovely garden up at New Hall in Elland, and it's a gorgeous song, a lovely song, and it's called Four Strong Winds.
Four strong winds that blow lonely, 7 seas that run high, all these things that won't change, come what may. Well, our good times are all gone, and I'm bound for moving on. I'll look for you if I'm ever back this way.
Think I'll go out to Alberta, weather's good there in the fall. Got some friends that I can go to, working for. Still I wish you'd change your mind if I asked you one more time. But we've been through that 100 times or more.
Four strong winds that blow lonely, 7 seas that run high, all these things that won't change, come what may. Well, our good times are all gone, and I'm bound for moving on. if I get there before the snow flies, and if things are looking good, you could meet me if I sent you down the fair. But by then it would be winter, not much for you to do, and the winds can sure blow cold way out there. 4 strong winds that blow lonely, 7 seas that run high, all these things that won't change, come what may. Well, our good times are all gone, and I'm bound for moving on. I'll look for you if I'm ever back this way. I'll look for you if I'm ever back this way.
Wasn't that lovely? I enjoyed that. And that's from the album Stripped Down Bachelors, which you can get on our album page. So there we are, and there we are, and there we are. Stop share, and let's go over to see what the applause is. Con, have a look at this. Have a look at this, Con. He's looking, and he's saying, thank you very much. That was lovely. I enjoyed that. Thank you, everybody. That's lovely. It's I was going to say it's better than money, but it's not. It's absolutely not. I always get questions. You're coming up to the end now, and the end is going to be fantastic. I know that is, but I've got to just answer this question because somebody asked me this question. How did you prepare, you and Con? How did you prepare for shows? Okay. Well, this may come as a huge surprise to people expecting me to say you'd warm up your voices and you'd warm up your guitar and do all that stuff. But we were more involved with, we always really made sure, I don't know how we all thought the same, even John thought the same. We'd always make sure we were showered and washed. There's something about showering and washing to get ready for whatever you're going to do, even if it's going to see the grandchildren. If it was a show, we'd make sure we were showered and washed, and the hair was the most important. Do you realize that Con, John and I, and Con, Peter Phipps and I, and then later Con and I, we would wash our hair. I've washed my hair today. And some people might say, you've got to cut it, Dec. I know that. I've got to get a cut this week, and you'll see a different me. But wash your hair before doing anything important. But most of the ladies know that stuff. Here's a stupid thing. Clean undies. Why? Don't know. Linda's laughing. Linda's laughing her head off. But well, always make sure, and you've got to have, and to me, you've got to have the pair of, with the men, the pair of underpants that matches what you're wearing, because we all think that way. And there was a funny thing on Loose Women that I happened to see this week, where they were saying it's so important for the ladies to wear matching top and bottom to make you feel good. I agree with that. I agree with that. So, watch the undies. Now, here's the thing. Every TV show that we ever did, we always had new suits made. People would say, God, that's extravagant. You could reuse the suits. No. And it was me that insisted on that. And we used to go, we had the top tailor, whichever was the top guy. In the early days in the 60s, it was Dougie Millings, who made all the Beatles suits. I went into Dougie Millings' tailor to pick up my suits, our suits, one day. And on the rail, he had the famous Beatles suits with the round collars. And he pointed at them and he said, will you look at those ridiculous suits these 4 fellas want? And of course, later on, years later, you realise they were the famous Beatles suits with the round collars. Amazing. But yes, the new suits, very important. So there we are. That's how we got ready. We made absolutely sure the nails were done. Everything was absolutely, so if you went up close to us, everything was spotless. And listen, we smelt lovely. Going on stage, we smelt lovely. But now, what did you think of that? Margaret Taylor, what did you think of that idea of getting ready in that way?
Yeah, I think that's very, very good to have a system. I used to do a lot of the, you'll know what I'm talking about, put up for the stars when they used to come to the Embassy Centre in Skegness. And one guy came one night to do a show, and he came with 2 left shoes.
I hope he went on stage with them, did he?
He went on in his trainers and carried his 2 left shoes on with him.
That's the way. Well, look, oh, here's a funny one. I went to the Music Hall Society of Great Britain, very, very big organisation, and they invited me as a guest of honour, and I went along. And I always have a habit of I bring my get dressed, but I never put my trousers on. I always put tracksuit trousers on, jogging bottoms sort of thing, and go and then hang the jacket up in the back of the car and go up. And I went all the way up, and then I dress in the car park. And I don't care. I'm Irish, very continental. I don't care. I'll dress anywhere in front of anybody. I don't mind. I'm not showing anything, so I don't know why people get uptight about that. But anyway, so I went to get dressed in the car park. I got my jacket on, and I went looking for, oh no, and I forgot to bring the trousers of the dress suit, and it was a black tie affair. And I walked in, black tie, everything was immaculate, jogging bottoms on. And it was Roy Hood and people like that, you know, Lee Mack and all those sort of people, funny guys. So they saw, I just said, oh, I just forgot my trousers, and that was it, but it was lovely. But now we're getting to the end of the show, and this, I hope this is going to sit in your minds forever about Con, because somehow or other I got inspiration. It must have been, people say, oh, it's Con, because I've never known a song that came together so easy. And when I was writing all the strings and everything and playing all the music and all that for the record, it came together so easy. It really did. And that's the sign of a great song. Any music person will tell you. But I hope you like this. It's got a hidden meaning, which only I know about, my family know about. And it will come out in time, because there are certain people disrespecting my brother. And I want you to just watch this and have a memory of this forever. Here we go. Song about you. I hope you like it. Con, I want the world to hear it. I know you'll understand it. And if they disrespect you, not love you, I won't let them hurt you, deny you, dislike you.
Con. When it all began, you and I were made as one. We played, we laughed, we sang, we danced. I know you won't forget it. Con. Did you ever think we'd make it? Shows, films, TV, the world. I know you can't forget it. And if they disrespect you, not love you, I won't let them hurt you, deny you. It's like you're my brother, you're Con. Crazy, you went and left me. Crazy, I thought that you were crazy to leave me all alone and lonely. Where would I go? What will I do? Now you've gone and left me. Disrespect you, not love you, I won't let them hurt you, deny you. It's like you're my brother, you're Con.
Now do you understand all the sentiment? And can we have, oh, applause! Look at that, everybody going mad. That's terrific, that's terrific. Thank you very much. What did you think of it, Lynn?
It was lovely. It sang straight from the heart, and you were so lucky to have a wonderful sibling. You have that close relationship. He was your brother, your best friend, your workmate, and it was a lovely tribute to him.
I've never known anything like it. I mean, I've never been known as a songwriter, although I've annoyed in my career that I was stopped from writing songs. I was actually stopped by Dick Rowe. He said, singers sing and writers write, and that's the end of it. And so I was always stopped from writing songs, but I have written through the years many songs. It's lovely. And so that was lovely. So we're at the end of the show now, but there we are. So Janet, like we always say in Toastmasters, what did you think of the show? What did you think?
I thought it was excellent.
Lovely.
Profound messages, as with your last piece.
Yeah.
Lots of great discussion and sharing of ideas. Loved all the videos, and thanks for sharing some vintage material from Con and yourself.
Yeah.
Really brings your life and your music to life. So thank you.
So that's lovely, and as usual, the replay will be with you tomorrow, hopefully. Whew, I'll stay up all night doing it. And email any requests you've got, please. Anything you want me to sing or anything you want to talk about or say, please. And the next show is the first Sunday of September. God, the time is flying. September the 4th. I usually say it's good night from Con and it's good night from me. And here we are. So good night from me. See you on the 4th of September. Bye.
And if they disrespect you, not love you, I won't let them hurt you, deny you. It's like you're my brother, you're Con.